Yesterday, the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Debt Management Office shocked the market with two auctions, the open market operations, where the Central Bank sold just 7 billion naira, while demand by investors and dealers was in excess of 100 billion naira. And stop rate came down to about 4% for 91-day treasuries maturing next year. At the debt market auction, the DMO also offered three papers, 4-year, 10-year, and 30-year, and the biggest money, the size of 118 billion, went into the 2049 Naira bond. That's the big story. Let's have Jumoke Olaniyan, who is Vice President in charge of Market Architecture at FMDQ Securities Exchange this morning. That was a very big day yesterday at the primary market auction, but of course, the FMDQ is where the secondary trading is all about. Bring us up to speed where we are right now at the marketplace. Fixed income, Jumoke.
Good morning, Boston, and thank you for having me always. Money market was quite stable yesterday. This was as a result of the market being sufficiently liquid. Estimates are that the system liquidity was at about 400 billion. This was as a result of the central bank taking out only about 289 billion via OMO auctions, as against the maturity of 530 billion that came into the system. So as a result of that, rates closed square or stable at with the OBB funding rate coming close at about 2.5% and the overnight rate closing at about 3%. And we expect that the trend will continue as long as system liquidity maintains the same levels. For the treasury bill market, you just gave us the primary market auction results, and generally market was quiet as dealers, anticipated the result from the primary market auction. So there wasn't much trading as well. Following the auction, we anticipate that we will see some level of activity in the secondary market after that, but perhaps not as vibrant because, as you know, we're coming to the end of the year and generally transactions slow down. Likewise, the bond market, the market was generally also quiet, even though the general sentiment remains bullish. As you imagine, dealers and investors continue to look for higher yields and better yields in the market. We expect that we will also see some a little bit more activity in the bond market after the primary market auction, albeit not as high level activities as is typical. So in general, dealers are winding down, closing book, balancing the.
Yes, but by this time this week, some of you guys would have been on holiday already. Thank you so much. But of course, business news never sleeps here on Channels Television. Jumoke, thank you so much. Jumoke Olaniyan, your Vice President in charge of Market Architecture at FMDQ Securities Exchange. And that's the wrap on today's edition of Business Morning. Tomorrow is Friday. It's going to be a TGIF. Stick around then.